On June 23, 2016, history was made. 52% of UK citizens voted to leave the European Union, declaring independence. Streets filled with celebrations and chants of "take back control" echoed across Britain. But fast forward to today, only 33% believe Brexit was a good idea. Brexit has cost the UK an estimated £160 billion in economic activity. What was once seen as a symbol of sovereignty and economic freedom has turned into a financial nightmare. Many who once championed Brexit are now questioning their choice. So, we must ask, was Brexit worth it? To find our answer, we'll break it down into three key areas. 1. Trade. 2. Foreign investment. 3. Immigration. By the end, we'll uncover whether Brexit truly benefited the UK or if it was a costly mistake. Trade. The harsh reality. The EU offered the UK significant trade benefits, zero tariffs, no duties, and seamless trade across borders. But when Brexit became official, those advantages disappeared. When Boris Johnson signed the TCA, Trade and Cooperation Agreement, on December 31, 2020, he promised Britain would secure better trade deals with the EU and other countries. But did that happen? Not quite. Since Brexit, the UK's export growth has stagnated, lagging behind every advanced economy. Among G7 nations, the UK now has the lowest trade intensity. So what caused this decline? 1. Red tape and border complications. Before Brexit, UK businesses moved goods freely within the EU, but today 80% of British exporters face difficulties selling to the EU due to excessive paperwork and regulations. The British Chamber of Commerce even claimed it's easier to trade with distant nations than neighbouring European countries. 2. New trade agreements, a false hope. While Brexit supporters touted new trade deals, agreements with Australia, India and Israel have not compensated for the losses from EU trade. The UK simply doesn't have enough to offer on the global stage to make up for its European setbacks. 3. Complicated regulations. Instead of following the EU's well-established regulatory systems, Britain decided to reinvent the wheel. For example, instead of using the EU chemical classification system, the UK created its own, forcing businesses to spend millions on compliance. The result? More confusion, more costs, and lower competitiveness. Conclusion. On trade, Brexit has significantly harmed UK trade. Verdict: failure. Foreign direct investment, FDI. A shrinking economy. Investment is the backbone of any economy. Before Brexit, the UK had a strong banking sector, access to the EU market, and the advantage of English as a global language. As a result, foreign investments in UK businesses were rising rapidly. But after the Brexit vote, that changed overnight. Since 2016, the UK has underperformed every G7 economy in business investment growth. Foreign direct investment, FDI, plummeted, costing Britain an estimated £12 billion per year. If the UK had remained in the EU, economists believe it would have led all of Europe in foreign investment. Instead, France has taken the lead. So, what happened? 1. Loss of access to the world's largest trading bloc. Foreign investors once saw Britain as a gateway to the EU. Now it's just another market with additional trade barriers. 2. Uncertainty and instability. Businesses hate uncertainty, and Brexit created years of it. As a result, companies moved their investments elsewhere. 3. Declining competitiveness. Without access to the EU, Britain lacks skilled workers, a strong industrial base, and natural resources. Its only major strengths are finance and language, which are not enough to remain globally competitive. Conclusion on foreign investment. The UK has lost billions due to Brexit, and its global appeal has faded. Verdict: failure. Immigration, the unexpected outcome. For many Brexit supporters, the biggest reason for leaving the EU was immigration. They wanted to reduce the number of foreign workers in the UK. Before Brexit, net migration peaked at 330,000 people per year. After Brexit, it briefly declined by 25%, suggesting that the policy was working. But today, immigration has surged past historical levels, exceeding 700,000 migrants annually. Why did this happen? 1. Labour shortages and an ageing population. With fewer EU workers available, Britain has been forced to rely on non-EU migrants to fill essential jobs in healthcare, hospitality, and services. 2. Demand for international students. The UK's universities attract thousands of students, many of whom stay and join the workforce. 3. Refugee and asylum policies. Increased global conflicts have pushed more people to seek asylum in the UK. Ironically, Brexit has not reduced immigration, it has only shifted it away from Europe. The UK now receives more immigrants from India, Nigeria, and China than ever before. Conclusion on immigration? If the goal was to reduce immigration, Brexit failed, but if you support a diverse global workforce, then it was a success. Final verdict. Was Brexit worth it? Let's summarize. Trade, more red tape, declining exports, and weaker global deals. Failure. Investment. Billions lost, declining business confidence, and slower growth. Failure. Immigration, higher than ever, but with a different demographic. Failure if reduction was the goal. Total economic loss, nearly £200 billion. Brexit was sold as an opportunity for the UK to reclaim sovereignty and economic strength. Instead, it has weakened Britain's position on the world stage. The dream of a self-sufficient, thriving, independent UK has turned into a costly economic experiment. Regardless of what Boris Johnson's bus told you, Brexit was a mistake. Want more deep dives into economics and global affairs? Subscribe now.